Hello everyone and welcome back to another Grainman Travels episode, and today we're on a new mod map called the Risoux Forest. I think that's the right pronunciation. So this mod map was actually released today on the 12th of the 3rd 2025. It is cross-platform compatible, so PC, Mac, PlayStation 5 and the Xbox series of consoles. It's on version 1.0.0.0. It's 383.31 megabytes to download. It's been put together by a map maker called JMGaming. Now there's a little bit of information on Mod Hub, so we'll run through that quickly. The mysterious Risoux Forest is back, a place where every path whispers a secret and every shadow hides an enigma. Ooh. Explore this natural setting full of mysteries where only the most attentive will be able to detect the hidden elements, stumps, cabins, huts, invisible to the distracted eye. Okay, interesting. Armed with your instinct and curiosity, set off to discover buried clues and emblematic characters. Interesting. It's a forest map with more than 20,000 trees, 3 sell points and 1 sawmill. There is a collection of mushrooms to look out for, destructible rocks. The winding and steep paths can also be a good opportunity to do a motorcycle track. Or a motorcycle race maybe. The map also contains 19 fields to buy, 70 wooded plots, 1 water source, an AI network for easy movement, 1 set of new ground textures to enhance the landscape mode. So pretty good. So let's get our feet firmly back down on the ground and have a quick look at our starting farm and our starting equipment. So we'll do what we usually do and we'll run through the equipment while we're looking at the farm. So massively forestry heavy this map, so we've got a big Komatsu fella buncher, we've got the wood transport truck as well, we've got the drag, and we've got a big mulcher as well on the John Deere 8R410. Very nice indeed. Quite a basic farmyard, to be honest with you. Open shed here, and then pretty much we're right near the shop. So there's the shop and the repair trigger. We've got a fuel station here as well. So it's not a massive amount you start with. You do have your sleep trigger here and your wardrobe trigger on this house. That's pretty good. Quite a nice model this one, I must admit. I think I've seen it on quite a few maps recently. It's very nice. If we have a quick look at our actual starting fields. So as you can see, we've got this plot here, which is 60, which is obviously a little bit of forestry. House and trigger, and then our machinery. Then we've got this forestry plot here, 62. I think that's about it. We don't actually start with any arable land though, but you know, it's a pretty basic setup. Obviously you've been dropped into an area, do a bit of forestry, maybe take on doing some agriculture as well, a bit of agroforestry, you never know, so it should be pretty good. Crop calendar wise, completely and utterly base game default. Nothing's been changed, nothing altered, nothing edited, etc. So you can put anything you want. In new farmer mode, there's no animal pens. I didn't expect them to be honest with you. It's a massively heavy forestry map, I must admit. When it comes to doing contracts, interestingly, there is some contracts for agriculture, because obviously these 19 fields, there's some baling, deadwood contracts, there's some rock removal, stone picking, wood transport contracts, etc. That'd be an interesting one, go from one end of the map to the other, but I suppose you would get to see the whole map through all the trees and bits and bobs. That'd be pretty cool. You've got a sawmill that's available for you to buy, but you don't own anything in a new farmer mode, so just to let you know. When it comes to prices, it's not everything sells, so just be careful. Things like wool don't sell. There's a few others as well, things like solid fertilizer, slurry, standard pretty much. Seeds don't, road salt doesn't, I think some of the milks doesn't either, so I don't think buffalo or milk sells by default. It has to be bottled, so just keep your eye out for things like that. I think quite a few bits and bobs do. Obviously goat milk bottled does, goat milk doesn't. Digestate doesn't, that's pretty standard. Obviously wool doesn't, so don't buy sheep, else you won't be able to actually get rid of their wool. Buffalo milk does. All your standard normal crops do though, so it's just some of the productions that don't, so just be careful. Cotton doesn't though, that's one I did see. There you go. So vehicles wise, like I said, we've got the International Series 200 vehicle. Actually, I didn't let's find that straight away. And then we've got a winch, the mulcher, the wood transport, the fella buncher, the John Deere ATAR, and the John Deere. I think that's a trailing system where you can go and go up to a tree and pretty much grab it and cut it and take it away, so it's not too bad. But PDA wise, it's a massively heavy forestry map, so obviously lots and lots of areas of forestry. Obviously 19, I think there's fields of different shapes and sizes, lots of tracks around everywhere, so it's not always a completely easy way to get everywhere. But obviously as you make your way through some of these forestry areas, then maybe you could make your own routes and make your own roads, etc. So that might be quite fun to do. But generally, like I said, massively heavy forestry map really. But let's have a quick look at our actual productions and selling points on the map. Down here we've got Midshew's house, very nice. Gros Sapier sawmill, so that's obviously the sawmill that you can buy. Here we have the shop, the dealer, we've got a gas station, we've got a purchase of fuel, and we've got pet supplies, interesting, and the animal dealer. We've got our house trigger there as well. Then up here nothing. Over here we've got the Robert's farm, and that is pretty much everything that we've got on that PDA. So interesting, I must admit. So let's scroll through to here. Now I think this is in this little garage next to the main shed, I think, from what I remember. Interestingly, the bird noises are very, very loud. That's one thing you will probably need to just remember. So I think we'll come out of here, go down here, and probably go for a bit of a wander up this bit of the map and around here and see what we've got. But I mean, it's probably not going to be the most interesting driving tour, to be honest with you, because it's going to be, massively forest orientated. So if you're not into forest maps, this is probably not the ideal map for you. But if you're into obviously doing forestry, logging, and probably doing a bit of obviously agricultural work in the forest, this might be the spot on map for you. But as you can tell, it's definitely not a flat map though. In places it's got some very big hills, very big valleys. The roads aren't too bad actually. I mean, it is a pretty map when it comes to the surrounding area with all the different trees. I've never seen so many trees being put on angles though. There's a lot of trees on different angles all over the shop, which I suppose is quite natural, isn't it? Because obviously trees don't always grow perfectly bullet straight, but it is a bit interesting, especially these here, quite a few there. But as you can see, some nice fields tucked away in some of the trees and some of the forest areas, which I don't think is a bad thing. So if we look up here, yeah, we'll go up here a little bit, I think. Shouldn't be too bad. So, but I think if you're taking some big logs and a big load of trees and logs around, this would probably need some pretty good horsepower to get back to your farm and also to some of the sawmills and productions that you put down. So it's just something to be aware of. I don't think you'd want to take a 100 horsepower tractor and a big load of logs up and down, that's for sure. I think you'd struggle quite a bit, but it is a pretty map though, I must admit. That's the edge of said map, I believe. Yes, I did that a little bit wrong, but at least we've found it. But this international seems to be coping pretty well with it, I must admit. If we turn right, and then we'll pretty much, very nice water point there. It's probably the only water point on the map. Actually running down the side of the of this hillside here. Very pretty indeed, but definitely a massively logging / wood orientated map, I must admit. So I think what we'll do though, we'll just get up here into these fields and we'll pull off. I think we'll have a quick look at our field prices. So what we'll do first, let's have a quick look at some of our places to buy for agriculture. So 164 for that one, 40, 67, 49, 59, 21, 79, 71, 99 and 194. So some more forestry plots here. 41, 48, 84, 77, 97, what about up here? 152, 100,000. This plot up here, 61. It's big here, 138, 121, 36, and down here maybe 186. So to be honest with you, I must admit the field prices for the fields and the forestry areas are actually quite cheap. I'm quite surprised. So it's probably not a bad little map to try your hand at a bit of forestry maybe. So hopefully you give it a bit of a whirl, and hopefully you've enjoyed this map tour. If you have, give it a like, subscribe to the Grainman channel, and I hope to see you again soon. Many thanks for watching.